All right, welcome to the class, to the Miracle Sessions class. And see, it's really interesting for me to just sit there for a moment and watch everyone in front of me, seeing that I immediately go beyond what I see and let myself not be distracted by it, and actually opening communication. So that's really interesting. See, if we would come here in this class to sit as, say, as bodies in the class or so, like you appear as a body here in the class, and you would want for that to change or do something for you, then it really doesn't matter where you go, you would have the same result everywhere. So this is what I mean. It's like, now in this class you actually come to go beyond all the appearances that you see. So you're not participating in an online class, even though it has all the appearances of it. The same as here, if you watch this on YouTube, you don't come to watch a video on YouTube. No, that would be a ridiculous idea, like a worldly idea. Well, not ridiculous, but worldly. Let's say it like this, because it's like, yeah, you can choose billions of videos. They all have that same thing. But here it's not about meeting you here. Is not about watching a video or being in an online class. Has nothing to do with it, at least not in the purpose of it. So it might be the start that you enter into a classroom, a virtual classroom, where you actually start to listen or relax. And that's what we do, absolutely. But see, it's not, yeah, it's really interesting to see it like this. And I just recognize myself in going beyond the appearances and literally start opening up to communication and seeing that, yes, this is it. It is okay. I still get reflections, but they change and they don't even matter that much in that sense, whether they would be like a reflection of, yes, we're doing this together or not, that would not even matter either. So that's an interesting discovery that I just made. And that you might make as well, because it's like, see, if you come to this place in order that you think that something is going to be given to you, or something is going to be given to you what you did not already have, then you're in the wrong place too. It's like, no, this is about the realization of this is happening in you, and you're going to become aware of the connection that is there and all the gifts that are connected to it. And very interesting to see, like, how easy it is to think that the form is actually determining the means, or the form is actually, say, dictating what you can expect from it. Well, absolutely not true. Absolutely not true. So I'm really happy that you're here and open to come into the place of remembrance together with me. That has nothing to do with this place whatsoever, with this physical place, or what you appear as a physical place, what appears to you as a physical place. So, but still we can, beyond all that, communicate, and you get excited, and you want more of it, and you want to discover more. So that's really interesting. But see, it feels so much lighter if you can drop the physicality of this, of the hardware that you're actually seeing, and go beyond it, and immediately focusing on communication and connectedness. Everything becomes so much lighter. So my question to you now is, so did you already take time to die into this moment, so to speak? Did you already take time to let your world collapse in this moment? Did you have a moment this morning as a preparation for the day where you allowed the world to collapse in onto you, so to speak? So, in other words, did you give yourself the permission to be born again this morning? Did you start a brand new day? So it's like the place where that takes place is really deeply inside of you, and you cannot become aware of it if you don't practice that. So that means, like, if you wake up and you feel like, oh my God, what am I supposed to do with this? Or, oh geez, I didn't see that coming. Then let it be, and say it's all very helpful in the sense of falling apart or trying not to hold it together, but allowing every release to happen to you that is possible, just for you to be lifted out of the trial that you appear to be in. See, and that is, it is like the workspace for the miracle worker, or the workspace for the practitioner inside yourself, where you allow this to happen. And then breathing is good, crying can be good, anything that, say, helps to let all this flow is good and helpful, because it feels so different if you start your day new than if you still walk this way with a cross on your shoulders, with old ideas that you hold on to. Like, well, drop that cross and let it all fall apart. You've been walking with the cross long enough. It's time to get resurrected. It's time to come to life, and not try to work out an existence of your, there's a word for that. I cannot really remember it. That what you want, like according to your wishes, so to speak, the wishes of a comfortable life and this of that life, whatever you feel that you want, in maybe just a moment that blinks to you as in like, oh, that would be nice. Like, no, this is about letting that all collapse and letting it fall apart for a moment, just to have a whole different experience of yourself that has everything in it, that you don't have to make something from, or that you have to make something, make yourself as something. No, this is already like a full establishment of you as you are created. And so that's the opportunity. So today I would love to use a lesson that is pretty much connected to this. But that's not so difficult to choose, because like all these lessons have to do with who am I? What am I? I want to know myself. What else is there to know? So I want to know myself, but what am I? And to see that one lesson in the Course in Miracles is repeating like 3 times in the book, with different numbers, but still the same content. I want to choose, say, I think it's 162 of A Course in Miracles. Yeah, I am as God created me. 162 on page 370 of the Ur text. And so I am as God created me. And let's try to hear that in a whole different way while I'm cleaning my glasses. Anyway, so I am as God created me. So let's try to hear this in a whole different way. Like, open yourself up for this, to receive what has been given. Because, see, coming to class is not just coming to class. It is like, no, here's an opportunity for you to take time to completely open up to what this says, and let it resonate with you, or let it get you, let it, be say, touched by it. Allow it to touch you. Okay, so I'm reading a little bit here. I am as God created me, lesson 162. This single thought, held firmly in the mind, would save the world. From time to time, we will repeat it as we reach another stage in learning. It will mean far more to you as you advance. These words are sacred, for they are the words God gave in answer to the world you made. By them it disappears, and all things seen within its misty clouds and vaporous illusions vanish as these words are spoken, for they come from God. Okay, so I am as God created me. This single thought, held firmly in the mind, would save the world. It's like, by them it disappears, the world disappears, and all things seen within its misty clouds and vaporous illusions vanish as these words are spoken, for they come from God. I am as God created me. So that's in fact the whole lesson. It's like, I am as God created me. And that feels really good, you know. It's like, oh yeah, I'm as God created me. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. But now it is up to me to let that affect me in terms of, am I actually hearing what this says, that I am as God created me? Like, there's no difference between God and me. There's no say beginning and no end kind of idea connected to it at all. So it's like, I can keep that lesson close to me all the time, because it is always, when I'm in denial of this idea, I feel pain. When I'm in denial of this idea, I feel anxiety. When I'm in denial of this idea, I feel everything but happiness. You know, that is the side effect. Like, I am as God created me is a thought that resonates, of that is an idea. It's a total idea that is what is connected to the fulfillment of your function. It is connected to your happiness. It is connected to, it's like, this is the whole of you. I am as God created me. I cannot suffer loss, I cannot be in pain, I am as God created me. God in its totality is all the fulfillment that can possibly be. Is all the health and all the abundance and all the glory that you can possibly imagine. That is your reality. So, and that is not, you cannot think of that. You cannot imagine that, really. It is a total experience of the truth of who you are. And that will set the world free. That sets your world free of your limited ideas. So, I am as God created me. So the second paragraph says this. Here's the word by which the Son became his Father's happiness, his love and his completion. Here creation is proclaimed and honored as it is. So here's the word by which the Son became his Father's happiness. See, the thought occurred to me, and this is not new, probably for you. It's like, you might have thought of that too. It's like, why, if God is complete, why does he need a son? You know, why does he need a son if he's complete? Why is he creating a son? Why am I, say, as a Christ mind, the Christ mind, why am I the Christ mind while he is everything that there is? Why is there still something that we call the Christ? Why is there a Son of God? That's interesting, isn't it? It's like, I am as God created me, yes, but I'm also then, in my realization of myself, Christ mind. And the love of the Father for the Son is right here. So that is something that was not possible if there was no Son. So that is also like, we're talking about Trinity. It's about Holy Spirit, Christ, God. They're all one. We know that this is a oneness idea. But then why these three parts? See, and that is interesting as an idea to think about, because your mind goes like, yeah, that doesn't make sense really. If God is whole and everything is perfect and complete, are there parts? Why are there parts? See, and then if you compare it to the ocean, for instance, like the ocean is the ocean, absolutely. So if you supposed to be a wave in the ocean, like, would the ocean be complete without a wave? No, it would not. And why are there waves? Why do we call that thing a wave and that thing the ocean? That's just names, that's just names. But it's like, no, the ocean wouldn't be complete without the waves. No, it's part of it, absolutely. And see, and that's actually the same with you. It's like you are wholly a part of God, but he wouldn't be complete without you. So it's like you complete it by being who you are. See, and that is, yeah, it would not be complete without you. See, and when you're in an experience of totality, then of course you're not going to question this, because you feel the oneness, the connectedness, the completedness, and the wholeness of God, and yeah, there's no considerations connected to that. It's just a full-blown experience of it, so to speak. It's your awareness then, and it is not distinguishable. You cannot separate yourself in the experience from, okay, this is God and this is me. No, not at all. So it is like the waves in the ocean. You cannot say, like, I'm a wave, but I'm separate from the ocean. No, absolutely not. No, one of the characteristics of the ocean. And so one of the characteristics of God. Here creation is proclaimed and honored as it is. There's no dream these words will not dispel, no thought of sin and no illusion that the dream contains that will not fade away before their might. They are the trumpet of awakening that sounds around the world. The dead awake in answer to its call. And those who live and hear this sound will never look on death. That's also very comforting, isn't it? The dead awake in answer to its call, and those who live and hear this sound will never look on death. Like, you literally hear this, and it's related to a Bible phrase too. It's like John 8, most assuredly I say to you, if anyone keeps my word, he shall never see death. So that's how this comes back then in this text too. I love that. So that's very comforting. It's like, yeah, luckily you heard the call. This is not for everyone. It simply isn't. It's like, it's not for everyone, but you have heard the call, and you will not see death. It's like, you will not see death because of that. It's like, no, you have heard a call. You literally heard the trumpets play. And that is like a resonation, like it attracts you beyond everything. It's like a goal. Suddenly there's a point at the horizon that you see realized in you. So that's very lovely, and I'm so happy that this happened, that this is happening, that we're in this awakening process, that we're waking up from an idea of death and seeing how dead it is, in fact. Let's talk about that. How dead is not having this prospect, not having this focus. How dead would your life be if this wasn't there? It's like, you don't stand still and think about that all the time, and you don't have to, but it's really great to think about it right now. It's like, oh my God, I'm so happy that I came to life through this, that I actually heard a call. I cannot imagine, say, going in an endless circle and reliving the same instant over and over and over and over, and seeing that there's no way out of it, and really thinking that I'm in a prison, and really thinking that I'm in a timeline which I can only stop by dying. You know, that's amazing. So you made it to actually come to this place where you recognize, oh my God, I can awaken out of this. It is not what I thought it would be. It is so different. I'm actually being attracted to something that is eternal life. I heard it and I answered it by my stepping into this and reading about it, listening and standing still and starting my day right, and not being afraid to die daily. And all the practice that comes with it. I meditate, I'm sitting still, I'm letting these ideas come to me. See, and all this is happening because you heard a call. And it will take, it's like literally death is taken away from you. You will not see death. And what else are you going to see then if you're not going to die? It's like, what happens if that's been taken away from you? It's like, it is so different. You cannot compare it to anything. But at least that is not the answer, and you're not going to do that. Because it's literally been taken away from you. At least you know that's not going to be your story. So you're not, in other words, you're not going to be successful in dying. You will not die, you know. That's pretty amazing. And of course, at the same time, it's like, yes, absolutely, of course. I came in touch with life eternal, with something that is a total consciousness, and not a separate life with separate bodies and separate entities and identities, personalities. So that's why we say, like, when you come to this class, you're not actually entering into this class as separate bodies. No, you recognize the communication that is possible, and you want to hook up on that as soon as you open yourself up for it and allow that to occur to you. See, and anything works. We think always, maybe, like, okay, maybe you don't think this way, but it's like you think that it comes through reading books or watching videos or listening to audios or who knows what. But in the end, everything will take you home because of the recognition that it is not so. You know, it is not what it appears to be. That thought alone is enough to be taken home. It's like you see actually that every object is reminding you of your homecoming, because you know it is not what it appears to be. So that's really interesting. Okay, so the third paragraph, I think we're left off there. Holy indeed is he who makes these words his own, arising with them in his mind, recalling them throughout the day, at night bringing them with him as he goes to sleep. His dreams are happy and his rest secure, his safety certain and his body healed, because he sleeps and wakens with the truth before him always. He will save the world because he gives the world what he receives each time he practices the word of truth. Today we practice simply, for the words we use are mighty, and they need no thoughts beyond themselves. They need no thoughts beyond themselves to change the mind of him who uses them. Okay, so that's quite a full sentence. For the words we use are mighty, and they need no thoughts beyond themselves to change the mind of him who uses them. So wholly is it changed, that it is now the treasury in which God places all his gifts and all his love to be distributed in the world, to all the world, increased in giving, kept complete because its sharing is unlimited, and thus you learn to think with God. Christ's vision has restored your sight by salvaging your mind. We honor you today. Yours is the right to perfect holiness you now accept. With this acceptance is salvation brought to everyone. For who could cherish sin when holiness like this has blessed the world? Who could despair when perfect joy is yours, available to all as a remedy for grief and misery, all sense of loss, and for complete escape from sin and guilt? And who would not be brother to you now? You, his Redeemer and his Savior. Who could fail to welcome you into his heart with loving invitation, eager to unite with one like him in holiness? You are as God created you. These words dispel the night, and darkness is no more. The light is come today to bless the world, for you have recognized the Son of God, and in your recognition is the world's recognition. I am as God created me. I am as God created me. So today we practice simply, for the words we use are mighty, and they need no thoughts beyond themselves to change the mind of him who uses them. So this single thought, as it says in the beginning, this single thought held firmly in the mind would save the world. And this is what we do today. So we keep it in our mind. It's like, I am as God created me. Okay, so maybe you say it out loud. Why not? I am as God created me. I am as God created me. See, this is not a mantra, but it is like, oh yeah, confirmation of your reality. It's like, oh my God, yeah, absolutely. I am as God created me. See, and you want to experience that. You want to feel that. You want to be comforted by that. So take time to allow that to occur to you. And why not start with it now? I am as God created me. I am as God created me. So let that sink into you. Why not? I am as God created me. So it means you cannot suffer, you cannot die, you cannot lose the things you love. None of that. No, I am as God created me. Like fulfillment, abundance, love, happiness, completedness, comfort, gentleness, faithfulness, joy established without opposite, honesty, innocence, see, and it's good to feel this, then to allow yourself to sink into that. When you feel something coming up as like you cannot do it yet or so, or you feel a bit of resistance, or you feel a bit of something that's really big in front of you when you don't know how to move through it, then just be gentle with yourself and allow a change to occur, but allow also yourself to feel on a very subtle level, to feel what this says and what it does with you. Feel that the changes are occurring, or however the experience is for you. Like you sink deeper into that. So are you experiencing a bit more spaciousness in your mind, and relaxation, comfort maybe? Or are you feeling gratitude coming up? Oh, see, these little changes I'm talking about. Like, okay, feel that, whatever that is. Yes. See, and then it's like, okay, let's allow something to happen, allow a change to occur. Allow yourself to come into a whole different experience of yourself. Like, yeah, who knows how that's gonna look like, or how that will be for you. And but still you want it, like still you're attracted to that. And why not let it happen? What do you have to lose, So there's expansion going on, relaxation. See, it has nothing to do, it doesn't matter how it looks, it has nothing to do with what you see. No, it's just happening in you. Another word of saying is then listen, listen, listen with your whole being, not with your ears, but with your whole being. I am as God created me. I cannot suffer. I cannot be in pain. I cannot lose the things I love. Now, loss is impossible. Guilt is impossible. And there is no such thing as sin. And there's no such thing as death in this. Just discovering that you're a whole part of everything that is. Wow. Well, thank you. Thank you for doing this with me, doing this lesson with me, doing this practice with me, and allowing yourself to, yes, stay right here and feel what you feel. That's so lovely. All right. So we're going to use the second part of the class as an if you feel like sharing something or asking a question or something like that, you can do that. So thanks for for being here and joining with us. Thank you.